Is there a more disrespected contender in the Southeastern Conference than Eli Drinkwitz and the Missouri Tigers? It seems no matter what Mizzou does on a year-in, year-out basis, especially after this previous season, winning 11 games, beating Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, Missouri, for whatever reason, doesn't get nearly the credit they deserve. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is every single day. You can also check us out via podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. SEC Unfiltered is there. And of course, guys, we are all across social media: X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, you can find SECU. And also, guys, check out our website, secunfiltered.com, for all the latest happening with us. Guys, before we get rolling, the Super Bowl is this weekend. The Chiefs and 49ers are gearing up for an epic showdown in Las Vegas, and you've got a front row seat with our friends over at MyBookie. Guys, whether you're aiming to cash in on the big game or just looking to have a good time with friends, MyBookie brings a true Vegas experience straight to you. With a huge selection of pregame bets, you can wager on everything from the opening coin toss to even the color of Taylor Swift's sweater. Yes, folks, they have Taylor Swift prop bets. MyBookie is a platform that offers something for everyone, literally. You don't need to be a pro to turn sports and pop culture knowledge into real cash in your wallet. Sign up, make your first deposit today using promo code SECU, and choose from a variety of welcome offers to find one that suits your playstyle. Guys, you've got plenty of options, and you and I both know we're all going to be gambling on the big game on Sunday. If you're itching for a sports book and casino that amplifies the thrill and maximizes your winnings, MyBookie is your MVP. Bet anything, anytime, and from anywhere, only with MyBookie. Now, guys, like I mentioned, getting back to it, the Missouri Tigers, is there a contender in the SEC that is more disrespected than Mizzou? And I make this video simply because I find it fascinating how no matter, it feels like what Missouri does, no matter what they do on the field, off the field, Mizzou, just when we have these conversations about contenders in the SEC and who realistically is a college football playoff contender, SEC contender, whatever it might be, don't you notice, guys, even right now in the months following the conclusion of the 2023 season, how much chatter have you seen about Missouri football? I've seen a lot more about Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Tennessee, LSU. Like, are we forgetting that Missouri just won 11 games? Now, the Mizzou folks I've talked to, at least, I'm sure there's many of you out there as well to say, we love to be disrespected. I think Missouri folks really feed off of that. I think Missouri folks really enjoy the disrespect, the chip on the shoulder. I think Eli Drinkwitz, I think he's taken that on. I think this football team, this football program has taken that on. I think Missouri football and Missouri fans actually like the chip on the shoulder of, you know what, you don't even think we belong in the SEC. Not only do we belong, but we're one of the best to do it, and we're going to go out there and beat you on a year-in, year-out basis. I mean, there's programs, guys, in the Southeastern Conference that have lost 4, 5, 6 in a row to Mizzou on the gridiron, and for whatever reason, every single year, those teams are marking off Mizzou as, okay, that should be a win. Don't even think about it. That should be a win. And many are learning the hard way. Like, that's not the way to look at it. The jokes were funny back in the early 2010s when Mizzou first joined the league. But, guys, Missouri has more SEC championship appearances than some of these teams that have been in the league since 1992, since even before then. It's time we put more respect on Missouri's name. And again, I think there's a lot of Mizzou folks that say, nah, keep the disrespect coming. We love it. We enjoy it. It fuels us. I think there's a lot of Missouri fans. We've had some guests on our show that I think they feel like MIZ thrives in it, thrives in the hate, thrives in the disrespect, right? They feel it from Arkansas folks. They feel it from South Carolina folks. They feel it from Tennessee folks. They catch it at every angle. And Mizzou did a lot this last season to gain a ton of respect. And if you're not respecting Missouri football at this point, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Right? Like I mentioned, won 11 games in 2023. Beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Beat a brand. And I know Ohio State had a ton of people out of that game. But either way, the game matters. You play the game, and Ohio State's still Ohio State. We talked about this back when the Cotton Bowl was happening. For Ohio State, that was looked at as, hey, this was a disappointing year. Our goals and our expectations in Columbus were national title or bust. And for Mizzou, well, they looked at it as an opportunity. Can you blame them for that? Even with the guys that did not play for OSU. Tons of talent on that Ohio State sideline. Tons of talent, right? And what Missouri did and what Missouri gained by winning that football game. It's another example of people that say bowl games don't matter. It's just not an accurate statement. Not on that type of stage. Not in the Cotton Bowl. Not when you're Missouri playing Ohio State. So you win 11 games in 2023. You beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Then you extend Eli Drinkwitz to the 2028 season. So you've locked down your guy. And I'll say this about Drink, by the way, because, admittedly, around this time last year, guys, I was saying that Eli Drinkwitz was the Jeff Fisher of college football. He was a guy that went 500 every single year and just found a way to keep hanging around. And, Eli Drinkwitz was realistically one of those coaches that we were talking about potentially being on the hot seat. And if things didn't go well last year, maybe Missouri going a different direction. But I think what this is a great example of is the folks in Como, despite what the outside noise was, despite what people were saying, they said, you know what? Eli Drinkwitz is our guy. We believe in Eli Drinkwitz. Sure, he's quirky. He's a little bit different. He colors outside the lines, if you will. But he's a good fit for us. He's a good fit for our program. And you saw it pay off. And you saw it pay off major dividends last year. You've seen it pay off on the field now. You've seen it pay off in recruiting. You've seen it pay off in the portal. And that leads me to my next point, guys. When you look at everything Mizzou is doing, they hauled in a top 10 portal class. Some major game changers and difference makers. Guys, the elite talent acquisition as a whole, not just the portal, but recruiting as well, keeping the number one player in the state at Mizzou, at MIZ. Also, guys, what does it take to win big now in college football? It takes dominating in the portal. You got to have the right head coach, of course, but you got to win in the portal. And how do you win in the portal? You win with NIL. You can hate transfer portal and NIL all you want, guys, but that's how you win. If you're not winning in the portal and you're not winning in NIL, guess what? You're probably not a very good football program. That's just where we are. And Mizzou said, you know what? We're going to put our money where our mouth is. $62 million donation. A $62 million commitment. Just a couple days ago, coming from an anonymous donor. And there's speculation who that donor is. We'll save that for another time. But $62 million. Guys, $12 million of that is geared towards the Tiger Fund. The Tiger Fund will support one of Mizzou Athletics' newest initiatives. The fund allows donors to designate contributions for sub-accounts that go toward specific teams or go toward a general pool of money used on travel equipment, marketing, and mental health support for the school's athletes. NIL, right? Using it for a ton of different things, but NIL is a very big one. Here's a crazy stat for you too, by the way. That $62 million contribution represents roughly 44% of Mizzou Athletics revenue from the 2023 fiscal year. 44%. You think about the renovations. You think about the renovations Mizzou is doing on the stadium, what they're going to be doing with that money, upgrading everything, enhancing everything, and again, the NIL initiatives. Missouri putting their money where their mouth is, which is what it takes. Missouri, guys, is doing everything necessary to win big. And oh, by the way, they got a pretty damn good football team coming back in 2024. You look at their schedule, guys. I mean, this is a 9 or 10 win team again, I think. Maybe 11 win. I don't know. I think they're just as much a contender for the college football playoff as a LSU, as a Tennessee, as a Ole Miss. They were right there with the Rebels last year. Guys, Missouri lost 2 games last year. And who did they lose to? Georgia and LSU. 2 of the best in college football. So, I don't understand it. I genuinely do not get why Missouri does not garner more respect. I understand it's really easy to look at the map and say, you know, look at they don't belong in the SEC. It geographically doesn't make sense, but like we've got to stop treating Missouri football like the redheaded stepchild. We've got to stop doing it. Because make no mistake, when you look at what Missouri's doing, from having the right guy at head coach, winning on the field first, having the right guy at head coach, hauling in elite talent, both via the portal and recruiting, putting their money where their mouth is. Missouri's not just a cute story. They're not just, they deserve to be respected as one of the contenders in the SEC, entering the 2024 season and beyond as one of the big boys in the Southeastern Conference amongst the best programs in college football. Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Again, guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon so you get notifications of when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, check out the podcast, SEC Unfiltered, on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Of course, guys, follow us on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and check out secunfiltered.com for all the latest from us. Until next time, guys, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the other side.